Here we're in Sefer Yeshua Parak Beis Pasuk Tes Zayin, and we're going to finish the parak today. We're going to run through it quick. Mirza Hashem, let's go right into it. Let's start. ותאמר להם, Rachav responded to them, ההרה לכו. And if you haven't been following until now, you should go and look at the Yeshua playlist and go in order, because everything is in order. This is a follow. This is a series over here. ותאמר להם, she told them, ההרה לכו, go to the mountain. pain יפגעו בכם הרדפים. Maybe the people who are chasing after you will in fact find you. V'nachbeisim shaman, you shall hide there Shloshes for a duration of 3 days. Ad shoiv haroidvim, until the people who are chasing you return. Va'achar telchу lidרככם, and afterwards you should go to the way that you want to go. So this is pointed out, this is a little bit of prophecy over here that she had. Her first prophecy. You should hide there for 3 days until they stop chasing you. She's prophesizing. She knew when they would stop chasing her. Let's take a look at the commentators over here. Oh, this is actually what Rashi quotes. Rashi says, "Asa she saw, but ruach hakodesh was prophecy. She yeshuv l'so shosham, that they would return after a duration of 3 days." It's a sefri in Devarim Chav Beis. Nachbeisim, the Metzudas Sion translates Meloshin Machbo. It comes from the wording of a type of hiding place. Then the Metzudas continues on the next page. Considered a hiding place. Lashon machboya, hatif, a good hiding place. No, that's not where it continues. Okay, it's a hiding place. Roy Tzalomer tastir b'makom machboa. You should. Oh, sorry, it's over here. You should hide in a good hiding place. You can find a good hiding place. This is hide and go seek, but for your life. If they were going to find him, they were going to kill him. So you better find a good spot. The Metzudas David over here says, "Pain yifga'u telshu ata לדרככם," and you're going to go to your way. Pain yifkeshu bachem haroidfim b'shuvim. Maybe the people that they would follow you and they would return. Shama, go over there in the mountain. That's what she said. So that's the commandment over there. That's the Metzudas. That's Rashi. Comes along the Radak. Some interesting insights over here. Radak says, Shloshes Yamim, go there for 3 days. Amar Razal, Magi Shashar Ruach hakodesh Rachav Sheshuv L'Shloshes Yamim Shilu Lor Shar Saleh Ruach hakodesh Mein He Dash Asidim Lach L'Sof Shlosh Yamim Val Derech. Okay, so the Radak is saying in his first explanation, similar to Rashi, that this was a prophecy that she prophesied. That's how she knew that they would no longer chase her after the duration of 3 days. Val Derech Pshat, but the simple explanation is Kimi Derech Hasfara Amar Razeh Kimi Yerico Ad Hayardim Yom Achar or Yosem Ma'at V'chav Shel Ki Ben L'Chalasim V'Shuvim the chafirosim the chipush b'kol haderech yushosham. And they basically said that the whole period was going to take a duration of 3 days. This entire idea of them chasing them, etc., because from Yerico until the Jordan River was around 1 day approximately, there and back, full journey. So therefore, she said that by the time that they go out the chifirosim and they search for you, the chipush, they look for you in the entire way, that will take 3 days. So that is the Radak on this pasuk. Pasuk Yud Zayin. Gonna be moving quick over here. But Yomer Aleh, they told her, Anash, and the people told her, Nikim anachnu mishvuasech, we are clean from your oath, mishvuasech hazeh, from this oath, asher hesh ba'asanu, that you made us swear. They said, we're clean. Hine anachnu ba'in ba'aretz, we're coming to the land. As tikva sechut. Okay. So now they're saying you should hang a thread, hashani hazeh, scarlet, tikshri b'chalon, you should tie in the window. Here again we see the symbolism of the window as we discussed last session. Asher horadisenu bo, that you lowered us with. Ve'es avich, ve'es imech, ve'es achich, ve'es kol beis avich, ta'asefi, and your whole family, you should gather with you to the house. So this is saying your father, your mother, etc. Everyone in your family, ve'eskol beis avich, the entire house of your father, you should gather if you want them to live. That's what she said over there. Okay. The Mitzudas David over here explains. Radak. The Mitzudas explains. V'harachalem through the window. Pen Yefga'u telshu at לדרככם, pen יפגעו בכם הרדפים בשובם. Okay, we just saw the one Nikiim. We want to be clean from the sin of nullifying the oath, the swear that we made to. And now we're explaining the matter over here. Hativ, clearly. Next one, it's meaning when we come to the land, Hazeh, Asher Azanu Bo Tikshuri Liois Los Simin. This that you lowered us with, you should tie over there. It's going to be a sign. Bo mutzav alachan rotzlomer derech bo, meaning through the window. So now we go back to the pasuk and read it according to the Mitzudas. When we come to the ground, when we come to the land, when we come into Israel, so then you should put it in the window that you lowered us with, and everyone will be saved. Next pasuk: V'haya kol asher yitzim midolasi beisech. Anything that comes out from your house, achutza outside, dama barosho. The blood is going to be in its head. V'anachnu kim will be clean. Meaning you got to keep everyone in the house if you want to live. V'kol asher yitach b'bayis. Anything that will be with you in the house, damo biroshenu. The blood is on us. It will be our fault if they get killed. Im yatiyabo. If there will be a hand that will be laid upon that which is there. If you tell our words to someone else, then we will be clean from this oath, this vow that we made, that we made to you. That is the end of the statement over there. That's what that's saying over there. That what? That those are the rules of how her anything that was in her house would be saved over there. The Mitzudos writes. Meaning the sin of the death will be on us because we were negligent over there. The next pasuk continues. ותאמר כדבריכם כן הוא, and she said, like what your words are, that's what shall be. ותשלחם ויעליכם, and she sent them away, and then they went. ותקשור as tikvas השונים בחלון, and she hung the scarlet in the thread in the window. Question is, when did she actually hang this scarlet? Seems from the pasuk that she did it immediately. The Radak over here has an interesting insight. He has a chiddush. Lo kashro iso ata. She did not hang it right now. Achar sheyetzu. After they left. Ella ziper akasav kain asta. No, it's just saying she did it. She did it, but it was later on when the city was getting conquered. It's according to the Radak. The Malbim has a different approach, however. According to the Malbim Takef, Labal Yargishu Acher Nechvadavar, she hung the scarlet thread immediately so that no one would realize. If you look at the Bar Benel inside, meaning, first of all, the explanation of this Malbim, it has to be spoken out. I actually saw this in the Kamotzi Shlal Rav when they quote this Malbim, is that if she would have hung the rope only when they started conquering the land and coming in, everyone of the city would have realized that, and they would have done the same. So therefore, she hung it immediately. No one would realize it was just a regular sunny, nice day, and everything was good. Similarly, the Abarbanel says that because of her knowledge that she had, she didn't wait for the war to tie it, only when she needed it. Because then other people would have realized and they would have killed her as well. And therefore she did it immediately. That's the Abarbanel saying similar to this Malbim. Technicalities of when she hung it. Next pasuk, Vayelchu v'yavo hara. They went and they came to the mountain. V'yashuvu sham. Shleshes Yamim. Vayishvu Sham Shleshes Yamim. And they sat there for a duration of 3 days. Ad Shavu Harodvim, until the people who were chasing after them returned. V'yavakshu Harodvim B'kol Haderech V'lo Matzu. And that the Yavakshu means that they searched. And the people who were chasing them searched the entire way and they couldn't find them. The Mitsurus over here just points out that this word tikvas milashon kav v'chevel, it's like a rope, a line. Hashani wrote Shlomer savua b'sev adam, scarlet, meaning it's colored, it's a red type of color. Okay, we saw those Mitsurus. Tikshor be'esha ba'u Yisrael ba'aretz, when they came to the land. That's when she tied it. Okay, that's how the Mitsurus learns. A whole discussion over there. Anyways, this is the idea that that they tried to get him and they couldn't find them, and then they stopped searching. They did a search and they couldn't find them, so then they called the search off. That's the idea over here in Chav Beis. Chav Gimel v'yashuvu shnei anoshim v'yerdu min har, and they returned. They returned from the mountain. Where are they actually returning from? Right? Simple explanation is the mountain. We'll see the Radak is going to go into this more. They descended from the mountain, and they crossed. This is referring to them crossing the Jordan River. They came back to Yehoshua finally. The long awaited time. They're finally now returning to Yehoshua after all of this time over there in Yerico, and after all of the drama that we've been learning about. They finally returned. And they spoke to Yehoshua everything that happened to them. The Metzudas Sion learn that the word hamoitza ois is masha lahem. They told them, Yehoshua, everything that happened to them. The Radak says, V'yashuvu shavu el derech, they returned to the way. Kikvar hayu nechboyim bahar, they were already hiding them out because the people who were chasing after them, at the end of a duration of 3 days, yetu min they came out from their hiding spots. V'shavluhem el derech laleches what's this word? Ledarcham. At the end of a duration of 3 days, so then they came out of their hiding spots and they returned to the path that they were on previously, but they had to change their path so that they wouldn't be found. That's the Radak. Last pasuk in the parak, Vayomer el Yehoshua. They told Yehoshua, Ki noson Hashem biadinu. As kol haaretz, that Hashem has given in our hands the entire land of Yerico and Israel in general. V'gam namogu kol yoshvei haaretz mipanenu. And there's the word namogu, which we had before. And also they're melted. They're fearful, all the inhabitants of the land, because of us. That's how the parak ends. They're afraid of us. Comes the Radak. Zehu sof divrehem. Tama. Shesapru lo ki milas ki utam el hakodesh. Radak specifies this is the end of what they said, the end of their words. By the way, before when the pasuk says Vayavru, that they crossed, Rashi over here says Esayarden, they crossed the Jordan River. So Rashi specifies it was in fact the Jordan River. Just to end this parak with one question. First of all, this is an incredibly deep parak and insightful. And we see this is how to really learn it properly. This is a very cryptic area, exactly. And this is also the Haftorah for Shlach, so it's incredibly relevant. But we do in fact see over here the real depth of Rachav, why they went to her house, how that was the mission, some true ideas. Just one last question on this is why is this all the only thing that they told Yehoshua? They returned and then they said they're fearful. Why don't they say of any more details over here? So the Kamokzi Shlau Ra quotes the Koich of Yaakov. Dubna Magid asked this question. He asked a little bit deeper. He says everything that they could have said to Yehoshua, is that really all that they could say? They could say a lot more. Why didn't they talk about, right? We saw that there was a discussion in the commentators as to what their purposes was going into the land. There are two approaches. Either their purpose was to go in to figure out their mental state, psychologically, where are their enemies holding, or to see military tactics the best way to go into the land. So why didn't they specify maybe perhaps the military tactics? How to conquer the land? When's the best way to enter in? Other details, etc. Once they said that Hashem has given the entire land to us and that they are all melted and fearful, that just answers any possible question. You don't need any more details than that. You don't need to know tactics anymore. You're going to be victorious no matter what. But how, in fact, did the spies confidently know this? How did they definitively know that the Jews would prevail and enter into the land and be successful, and Hashem would deliver the enemies into their hand? Comes along with Dubna Magid based on a Medrash in Yew of Gimel. The pasuk says, "Korov Hashem lekol krav." Hashem is close to those who call out to him. Anyone who just calls out? No. That's why it says the kol asher yikru be'emes. That's what the pasuk says. Anyone who truthfully calls out. So according to this, what do you mean? How does Hashem remove the wicked people from upon him if they're going to be calling out to him? He has to answer them. One answer is, yeah. If they're going to truthfully call out, you're right. They would in fact be answered. In hachanami, they would in fact be answered. But rather, Hashem removes from the Rashaim, from the wicked people, the bitachon, proper belief that they should believe that everything happens for our good, in order that they won't believe in Hashem, and then they won't call out to him. Someone who has yish, who gives up from the salvation, he will become far from the salvation. Rabbi Chanina ben Doisa said, if the tefillah, the prayers that I recite are regular in my mouth and they come out smoothly, I'm going to know that I was answered. And if not, then not. He had bitachon, he had belief, he knew that this was a sign for him, that there would be a salvation. For someone who Hashem wants to remove his focus and his abundance, so then he will remove that belief that that person has for Hashem. This is what Hillel said. When Hillel heard a wailing voice, he said, "Muftach ani shelo yezeh b'toich beis." He said, "I know that this isn't coming from from my house." Why? Because he instilled that belief into all of his family members. They had that belief as well. This sign Rachav took as well. That since all the fear befell the inhabitants of the land of Israel, since they were all fearful, all of the inhabitants of the land, it is clear, it is evident from this, that the Jews would in fact conquer the land and be victorious. And it's as if that they were already given over. This is what she told the spies. I know that Hashem gave you the land. That's what Rachav told the spies. Remember? Yadati ki nosen Hashem lachem es haaretz. Where did she know this from? Because of the fear that they had. Naflei moschem aleinu v'ki namogu kol yoshvei haaretz mipneichem. This is precisely what the spies told Yehoshua. Nosen Hashem biadinu es kol haaretz. What's the proof that they're going to be delivered over? Because they have the fear. Because they're scared. Namogu kol yoshvi haaretz mipanenu. That's the proof. That's the raya, accompanied with a bitachon. And that is the second parak of Yehoshua, how to properly learn it. If you're just coming in for this one, you didn't watch the whole thing, go back to the beginning, go in order to the playlist, sort from oldest to newest. That's amazing stuff.